I love being able to help people and learn about how to do new things in a house.
I enjoy working to help people get back to their somewhat normal lifestyle, and seeing them happy makes me happy.
I feel like that's why God put me here, to help other people.
It's a calling. It's something that when you start it, you feel that you just have to continue doing it.
And you feel blessed, and you feel like you're doing something constructive to help other people.
What they're describing is a program of the Church of the Brethren that allows people to help those who have survived natural disasters to rebuild their homes and their lives.
Brethren Disaster Ministries is a place where volunteers can come and they can live out their faith, and through service and through the way Christ called us to serve those in the greatest need. And they don't need to be skilled, they just need to have a heart to serve.
The program is coordinated from offices at the Brethren Service Center in New Windsor, Maryland, which will continue to be the headquarters even with the sale of the upper campus of the center. From here, program staff work with district disaster coordinators to connect volunteers with places in need.
The whole rebuilding program is around volunteers. It takes weekly volunteers from our congregations and districts who come together, and they go into these communities, and they're quietly witnessing and changing lives as they rebuild homes and repair homes.
Steve Kime served as a long-term construction leader at Brethren Disaster Ministry sites such as Colorado, where volunteers worked for almost 2 years to help survivors recover from devastating fires and floods.
It's doing the type of things I like doing, which is fixing things and helping people. We work mainly with people who are either underinsured or don't have insurance, or who maybe have gotten partway done and then can't finish it.
People like Kirk and Adela Hawks.
It's been kind of overwhelming, and so I just have my deepest sense of gratitude for you folks coming out here and helping us out. And this whole house thing with the fires and the floods has just got overwhelming.
It was a huge relief, because it was like a huge weight was lifted.
The people who've experienced disasters, it seems to be therapy for them to share their story. It opens my mind to all of what reality consists of.
We really encourage our volunteers to sit down and listen to homeowners, that's as important as the work that they're doing on the house.
That's one of the ways that we help the homeowners heal, is to sit and listen to them as they share their story with us.
It's a beautiful thing to have people that you don't even know that are willing to come out, and support you and help you in situations where, we're having a hard time dealing with.
We have the opportunity to come and to give them a little bit of their life back.
Once you've been out and you see what it's like and how you've helped others and blessed them, they want to return. There's a lot of returning volunteers.
We've been here now a month, so we're looking at close to 60 people that have come through, and of those 60, probably 45 are returning at least for the second time.
This makes my 42nd trip. I like to help people, and the good book says, if you've done at least these, my brethren, you've done unto me. So I obey Jesus' command.
It shows what we believe in, how Jesus was a servant, and that we're serving and trying to share love and help others.
The first few projects I worked on, they had been told so many things, and nothing happened, and all of a sudden we were able to help them, and the joy on their faces, it's indescribable.
It's been a tremendous blessing to get people to come from other states and on their own dime and to help out a stranger. It's just a true expression of Christian love, I guess, and it's just taught me a lot about who the brethren are. They're here just to provide service in the name of their religion, in the name of Jesus, which I think is just marvelous.
Another way Brethren Disaster Ministries supports disaster survivors is through its Children's Disaster Services program.
The most important thing that we do is we care for children in times of disaster so that they can share their stories, they can share their feelings, and it really begins the healing process in each and every child that is able to experience that.
Since 1980, Children's Disaster Services has been meeting the needs of children by setting up child care centers in shelters and disaster assistance centers across the nation. Specially trained to respond to traumatized children, CDS volunteers provide a calm, safe, and reassuring presence in the midst of the chaos created by tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, wildfires, and any natural or human-caused disaster.
Parents, the adults in the family, are called to do something else, fill out paperwork, tell their story, get further assistance, and it's very difficult to focus when the children are tagging along. And the neat thing is that Children's Disaster Services will find a separate environment for our children to play. They can draw, they can color, they can snack on food, and the neat thing is the parents know they're safe.
Children's Disaster Services relies on a strong network of volunteers and partners across the country. As the only program in the U.S. exclusively dedicated to meeting the needs of children after disasters, CDS is being increasingly relied on by the American Red Cross and FEMA to care for children. 2016 was Children's Disaster Services' busiest year ever.
This has been very helpful. It's a blessing from God. I was able to get a break. I was able to register with the Red Cross disaster team, and hopefully it'll help us put our lives back together.
For a lot of us, it's very foundational in our church and our faith experience to reach out to children. Jesus certainly modeled that and modeled having the children come to him, laying his hands on them. So I think that's, for a lot of us, we're sort of naturally drawn to this work.
Recently, Children's Disaster Services began working with children in Nigeria who have been traumatized by the extremist group Boko Haram, which has been terrorizing the northeastern part of the country since 2014. Children, some of whom have seen their parents murdered before their eyes, have been offered trauma healing sessions developed by Children's Disaster Services at the request of the Church of the Brethren in Nigeria. This type of response is relatively new to Brethren Disaster Ministries. The traditional response to overseas disasters has been to support the work of trusted international partners such as Church World Service or Heifer International, who either already have a presence in the area or are able to respond quickly to the needs of survivors of floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, or refugees fleeing violence in their homeland.
More and more we're having to start our own programs as we've responded in Haiti after the earthquake and hurricanes, and in Nigeria after that crisis started.
In Nigeria, Brethren Disaster Ministries coordinated a huge multi-million-dollar response funded by U.S. Brethren but coordinated with the Nigerians to help relocate thousands of displaced people, provide emergency food relief, job training, and trauma healing, and eventually rebuilding of homes and churches destroyed by Boko Haram.
So it's this blend of partnering, finding local partners, and trying to equip so that we really meet the needs. But it's the same mission of trying to go in and support community and people in their own recovery. We don't come in and tell people how to do it. We come in and support people through a process of their own recovery.
Brethren Disaster Ministries has supported churches responding to refugees from Burundi who have fled to the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, and to those suffering from hunger in South Sudan, and to Syrian children displaced to Lebanon. A major partner has been Church of the Brethren congregations in Haiti who have responded to the 2010 earthquake and more recently the devastation of Hurricane Matthew. The funding that allows all of this work to happen comes from the Church of the Brethren congregations and individuals through donations to the Emergency Disaster Fund and through the support of 3 large disaster auctions held each year by volunteers in 4 Church of the Brethren districts. Those funds provide a level of support for volunteers in the Rebuild program that is rarely matched.
Whenever our volunteers go out, we cover their food, their transportation, tools, and their housing. And many other organizations, you pay a per diem fee. Through those generous donations to the Emergency Disaster Fund, we're able to host our volunteers and support them in a way that other organizations are not able to. And so that is definitely a unique thing about the Brethren Disaster Ministries Rebuild projects.
Those who participate in this ministry see transformation all around them. Homes are transformed. The lives of homeowners are transformed, as are the lives of volunteers who make the program possible.
At some point in time, you lose yourself in what we're doing, and it becomes a worship experience, and you feel truly blessed.
The reign of God is to make all of us whole, and there are instances like this where a flood comes in and people aren't whole. You know, They may be whole in spirit, but their houses need some work done on them so that they can be whole again. And so if disciples of Jesus can be a part of providing a bit of that wholeness or the movement toward that wholeness of God's plan, then that's fantastic for us to have the opportunity.